The Alpha Legion is fake news. No such legion exists, nor has it ever existed. The remainder of this video is intentionally left blank. Please report yourself to your nearest commissar for re-education. But real talks, the Alpha Legion is what would happen if you gave the CIA Space Marine legions and told them to go nuts. They're the universe's greatest sneaky snakes, and since then, they've become a hot mess. They're confused about whose side they're actually on. Some think they're with the Imperium, others think they're with Chaos. Some might not be on any side at all. Meanwhile, their biggest secret is they have two Primarchs. Maybe. Or maybe they're the same person. Oh god, this monologue is literally making me schizophrenic. So, as you can see, the Alpha Legion are a bunch of paranoid fucks who don't even trust each other, so their origin story is a complete shit show. All anyone agrees on is that Big E cooked them up in total secrecy for his own shady-ass purposes, and nobody knows what the hell those were. They were similar to the Space Wolves and the Salamanders in that regard. From the start, they were Big E's personal CIA assets, kidnapping and ganking anyone he pointed at. They answered to no one but the big golden asshole himself, and all the other Primarchs could suck it. For some reason, the Emperor kept them a small force of only a couple thousand Space Marines and refused to expand them like the other legions. Some suspect their genes were fucked beyond repair, so he didn't want to spread them. During the Great Crusade, the Alpha Legion vanished from the official records. Of course, unofficially, the sneaky bastards were still out there, pulling all sorts of shady shit deep in enemy territory. They would show up with no colors, or worse, wearing another Legion's gear like a bunch of cosplayers and wreak havoc. Their entire job was assassination, sabotage, and stealing weird crap, and they made damn sure to murder any witnesses. This caused rumors of a ghost legion to start spreading. Their signature move was to fuck an enemy up from the shadows, bleed them dry with Black Ops bullshit, and then hit them from every direction at once in a massive clusterfuck they dramatically called the Harrowing. Eventually, they find their Primarch, Alpharius, during some big alien war. But here's the mother of all twists. He was a twin. Turns out, the real Alpharius was the very first Primarch the Emperor ever found. Big E kept it a secret the whole time, training him to run the Ghost Legion from the shadows. The only ones who knew this were Big E and his two favorite besties, Malcador and Valdor. The schmuck they discovered was actually the other twin, Omegon, who just took the name Alpharius and played along. They pulled an identity swap, and nobody had a goddamn clue, because most people didn't even know the second asshole existed. Only Big E, Malcador, and the higher-ups of the Alpha Legion were aware of this. But no one knows for sure yet what the actual truth is. Who knows, they might even be just one person with multiple personality disorders. Speaking of having a personality disorder, the Alpha Legion had some truly bizarre features. The weirdest thing is that every single one of them looked like a bootleg version of their Primarch, Alpharius. We're talking 10,000 clones, all bald, all vaguely Caucasian, and looking exactly like a roided-up, bald human named Dana White. When they line up, it's a terrifying, endless parade of identical smirking assholes. The entire Legion was basically a Hydra. You cut off one bald, sneering head, and there are literally 10,000 more ready to replace it. On top of that, you can never be entirely sure if you just killed a disposable grunt, a high-ranking commander, or the goddamn Primarch himself. When the twin assholes finally took public command, their legion was full of young, zealous members, ready to swallow whatever bullshit their new dads were selling. The Alpha Legion's entire battle philosophy was basically a giant middle finger to every other Space Marine legion. Their core belief was that open battle was for morons. If you found yourself in a fair fight, you'd already fucked up. For the 20th Legion, the real war was over, long before anyone fired a shot. It was won by turning a planet's leaders against each other, fucking with their water supply, spreading rumors that the governor was into weird shit with space elf porn, and generally dismantling an entire society from the inside out. Every single one of them was a pathological liar and master of trolling. This made all the other legions, who measured their dicks by how loud they could smash things, hate their fucking guts. The Alpha Legion's methods were considered two-faced and cowardly. This bred mistrust, because everyone else saw them as a bunch of assholes who spat on the very concept of being a space marine, and two Primarchs in particular had mad beef with them. The first was Roboute Guilliman, the autistic hard-ass. He was a walking brick wall of truth and honesty, a guy who probably thought lying about his weight was punishable by death. Alpharius, on the other hand, treated a lie like it was his job. The second was Roboute Guilliman. The Lord of Spreadsheets didn't give a shit about honor. His problem was efficiency. As the galaxy's #1 micromanager, Guilliman could appreciate a bit of sneaky warfare. What he fucking despised was the Alpha Legion's theatrical and inefficient way of doing things. He saw Alpharius's tendency to drag out campaigns with needlessly complicated schemes as wasteful showboating. This was perfectly summed up during the Testra Prime campaign, when Guilliman asked why it took so damn long, and Alpharius just shrugged and said, "Because I could." That answer confirmed everything for Guilliman. Alpharius was just playing a game for his own amusement and wanted to flex on his hose, while Guilliman was trying to run an empire without going over budget. The more straightforward Primarchs, like the alcoholic wolfman Leman Russ and the perpetually pissed-off Angren, couldn't even process it. Their ape brains couldn't comprehend why you'd spend months playing with an enemy, turning them into a paranoid wreck, when you could just tear their heads off. To them, it was the ultimate pussy move, a sign you were too scared to face the enemy and get blood on your fancy armor. Surprisingly, they got along well with the Dark Angels and Lionel Johnson. In fact, they secretly wanted the Lion to become the next War Master, as both legions shared similar views on war and secrecy. Ultimately, all the other legions just saw Alpharius and their army of lying bastards as a stain on the honor of the Space Marines. They managed to unite a dysfunctional family of demigods in pure hatred for them. Being the black sheep of the family, and given what a bunch of untrustworthy dicks they were, it's no shocker that the Alpha Legion decided to support Horus when he rebelled. By deliberately raising a legion of paranoid lying bastards and telling them to trust no one, the Emperor basically designed a legion to fall to heresy. However, there may be another reason why they betrayed Big E. What if these manipulative pricks were actually the good guys all along? You see, a couple of years before the heresy started, some alien conspiracy club called the Cabal slid into Alpharius's DMs. They showed the twin Primarchs two potential outcomes for the future. If they stayed loyal to the Emperor, the Imperium would win, but humanity would slowly decay over thousands of years, and eventually chaos would return and consume the entire universe, and then everyone loses. The second future is if they helped Horus, humanity would be wiped out, but it would also cause the Chaos powers to decay into the oblivion with them, thus saving the rest of the galaxy and ensuring other alien species survive. So, the Cabal essentially asked Alpharius to take one for the team, and he seemingly agreed to it. The Alpha Legion's first move in the Horus Heresy was one of betrayal at Isstvan V. Sent by the Emperor to destroy Horus, they instead turned on the Loyalist legions, ambushing and murdering the Iron Hands, Salamanders, and Raven Guard. Despite siding with the traitors, the Alpha Legion's allegiance to Horus was questionable at best, and he soon came to regret their involvement. Nearly every order the War Master gave them was either ignored or carried out in a way that produced the opposite of the intended result. For instance, when Horus tasked them with recruiting the White Scars, the Alpha Legion instead provoked them into a fight, an act which ironically solidified the Khan's loyalty to the Emperor. The Legion's random-ass strategy continued when Alpharius led a major assault on Pluto. This was where he was ultimately killed by the Loyalist Primarch, Roboute Guilliman. In his place, his twin brother Omegon secretly assumed command of the Legion. Some time later, a Primarch, presumed to be Omegon, personally informed Horus that he was rage-quitting the war effort. True to form, even this declaration was misleading. Even though their Primarch had quit, the Alpha Legion still participated in the siege of Terra. But when Horus ordered them to muster for an attack on the throne world, they defied Horus's orders. Instead, the Alpha Legion's final major act was to delay Roboute Guilliman's relief force. In the end, their actions hindered the Loyalists, but on their own terms, not Horus's. After Horus lost, the Alpha Legion didn't run away to the Eye of Terror like the other pussy traitor legions. Instead, they stayed in the Materium, just chilling. Then at some point, the Ultramarines, led by the big blueberry Guilliman, rolled out an assault on the planet they were hiding on. Alpharius, or Omegon, who the hell knows which twin it was happy as fuck about it. He saw it as a chance to stroke his massive superiority complex. He figured he could easily outthink the Excel sheet god of strategy and prove his boys were the smartest tacticians in the galaxy. But Alpharius didn't expect Guilliman himself to join the fray with his elite units. This resulted in a duel between the Primarchs, and Alpharius apparently was killed. So Guilliman expected the Alpha Legion to shit their pants and scatter. Instead, they just got pissed off. They immediately swarmed the Ultramarine strike force and fucked them up so bad that the Ultramarines had to retreat like pussies. Following the battle, the Alpha Legion fractured in order to hide from the Imperium. Small warbands would set up secret bases all across the galaxy. From these glorified shitholes, they launched their little sneaky operations, which mostly involved instigating planetary wars and planting chaos cults to troll the Imperium. Despite their many traitorous acts, some delusional Alpha Legionnaires still see themselves as loyal towards the Emperor. They're convinced they have to get their hands dirty, work inside the shit, purge the weak, and deal with the real threats, all while wearing traitor colors and worshipping a multi-headed snake. They've decided the only way to prove you're worthy of serving the Emperor is to have them show up and make you fight for your life. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to support this heretical channel, I've just opened YouTube memberships. Go to my profile and hit the join button if you're interested in contributing to the Imperial Tithe.